Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am. Am I my brother's keeper? Yes, I am.
Bino Brown Boxing, I'm back in the building. Shout out to the LDBC. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. So y'all, it's Saturday. It's fight day. January 26th. Yep. January 26th. And tonight's the return of Keith Thurman. Now, me personally, I have had like a lot of mixed feelings towards Keith Thurman this entire time he's been out, and none of that's changed for me. It's crazy how, not including heavyweight, but some of the best divisions in boxing is always surrounded with some type of bullshit. And I'm gonna stick with welterweight right now, and then I'm gonna talk about the other two. But tonight we got Keith Thurman versus Josecito Lopez. I know we got Gerald Washington on the card fighting, I think, Adam Kornacki. We have one of the young Russell brothers, Gary Antoine Russell. We got Lil B-Hop on the card. Who else is on the card? I'm just going on top of the head. That's all I can remember for right now. But we all know the most important part is the main event. And that's not even the most important part because of Thurman. It's just I want to find out what's going to be the fate of the WBA Super Championship title, whatever you want to call it. Now, I'll keep a quick prediction for this fight. I see Keith Thurman winning. I went back and I looked at a couple of Josecito Lopez's fights, and I wasn't, I know he's a great fighter, but comparing him to Keith Thurman, I don't see anything that he can necessarily do to beat Keith Thurman. But I have to factor in the fact that Keith Thurman is, he's been out the ring for a while, and I honestly don't know how that's going to impact him. I know Keith said that he was coming down from like 183 pounds, and he weighed in at 146 and a half. That's a lot of weight for a guy to lose, a guy that's 30 years old and shit. I'm 29, and losing that type of weight, shit, that's crazy. Even though I know Keith used to doing it, but he let himself go. Now, if Keith Thurman is a shell of himself due to the long layoff, then, things may shift dramatically in the welterweight division. But we gotta wait to see what happens with that. My overall prediction for tonight, I feel like if Keith is smart, if he doesn't feel like he's in danger, because obviously you can be in danger no matter what in a fight. Oh, y'all see this Jeep, the Punisher. Now, fuck that shit. But if Keith is like a different version of himself, and the ring rust is, well, no, I was saying if Keith Thurman is smart, he would, if he's smart and he's not in any danger, he would definitely try to make this fight last as long as possible so he can maximize getting rid of the ring rust. Now, if he falls into any danger and he has the ability to end the fight, that's what he needs to do. Now, if Josecito Lopez can capitalize off the fact that Keith Thurman has been out of the ring, that's what he needs to do as well. Like, I'm not rooting for anybody in this particular fight. I'm still pissed off at Thurman. But, I mean, people made good points on both sides. Thurman is on that bullshit, and a lot of the anger that I've had in the videos that I made in the past, it was prior to a lot of things happening. It was prior to Terrence Crawford moving up and stirring things up in the welterweight division. So, things have definitely shifted. And when I say they shifted, it shifted in a way where a lot of people tend to, they doing the same shit that Keith Thurman was doing. It's just they doing it in a different way. I mean, to me, it's all the shit fall in the same category. Now, the thing that I wanted to compare to the other weight classes, that would be 154 and middleweight. It's like every welterweight, super welterweight, and middleweight, all of them have one thing in common. And they have like the black sheep of the division. And what I mean by black sheep is one of the top guys, he's not on the right side of the network or the promotional banner, and it's causing the division to remain somewhat stagnant when it comes to the best fighting the best. I mean, welterweight, we all know the guy is Terrence Crawford, with him being with Top Rank. And the PBC guys supposedly want to mix shit up, but they really don't. They're not really fighting one another. Then at 154, it's the same situation, but it's slightly different. You got Jaime Munguia. He's not in the 154-pound mix. He has a WBO belt, and he's on the Golden Boy side. But to what I believe, Jaime Munguia doesn't want any parts of these guys on the PBC side at 154. So that's more so favorable in that fighter's favor versus Terrence Crawford. I believe he wants some smoke. But it's not favorable when it comes to the fans that having more unification and possibly an undisputed champion. Now, at middleweight, we got the same shit. Now, it's not really affecting with the belts, but Jamal Charlo is a top contender. He's a, he's a WBC mandatory for Canelo's belt. And he's just on the wrong side. He's the black sheep of the division. They're talking about, well, Canelo and Danny Jacobs, they're about to fight. And then they're talking about the winner possibly facing like Demetrius Andrade or Billy Joe Saunders if they fight that particular winner. Now, if I'm not mistaken, that's all the belts. Yeah, because Jacobs is the WBO. Jacobs is the IBF. Canelo has the WBC, WBA. And Andre has the WBO. Now, they put in this tournament. That's great. That's definitely great for boxing. But it sucks for Jamal Charlo, because now at this point, he's in a position where if we're going to just, be real about everything, if they're really going to fight in that order, Billy Joe Saunders versus Andre, Jacobs versus Canelo, and the winner of those two fights fight for undisputed, Charlo not getting his opportunity is fair. They're fighting for undisputed. It sucks. It's unification and undisputed. So him just sitting on the side fighting whoever PBC has to throw at him, like, it's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Unless he wants to pull a Canelo and yo-yo between 168 and 160 and see what potential fights he can get. We have to see with that, but it's definitely unfortunate, but all day, every day, I definitely want undisputed at middleweight. I want undisputed in all weight classes. Now, for right now, if that has to include Jamal Charlo, him having to wait, it is what it is. Now, me going back to my favorite weight class, 154, my guy Jared Hurd, the unified champion at that weight class. I want to know what's next for Jamal Charlo. A lot of people saying, oh, Hurd did this, Hurd did that. But the one thing they're not saying, I don't care what's your interpretation of it, Hurd won. And Jamal Charlo didn't. And that's the number one thing. You can point all the fingers in any direction that you want, but Charlo lost. And you can't blame anything on her when it comes to that fight that we were supposed to get this summer, that unification bout, because Charlo didn't take care of his business. And I said that shit so many times. I said it in super chats, I said it in the comment sections, and I said it in my own videos. Charlo can't look past Tony Harrison, and that's definitely what he was doing. But we're going to see what happens with that. I'll talk more about that after this upcoming fight. Like, boxing been pissing me off lately, so I haven't been dropping that many videos. But for this Keith Thurman fight, man, bare minimum, I hope it's just exciting. I really don't care who wins. I want it to be an exciting fight. I want the fans to be entertained. If Thurman gonna talk that shit, then we gonna see. I know most likely after this fight, he going to call out Pacquiao, or he gonna call out Pacquiao or Porter. But I don't think it's guaranteed that Porter is gonna beat Ugas. So I feel like that's a 55-50 fight. Some people may say, that's crazy, but I've been watching Ugas, and he's a very strong guy. And he's, like, stature-wise, like a combination of height and weight, he's naturally bigger than Porter. And, his boxing ability, he has some good boxing ability. And if he can basically slow down or even stop Porter's brawling style, if Porter fights Ugas the same way that he fights Danny Garcia, I'm definitely going to pick Ugas all day, every day. But we're going to see what happens. This is Nino Brown Boxing. Shout out to the LDBC. Where am I? I'm at Gold's Gym. And I'm out.